You're watching CHCO-TV's gavel-to-gavel coverage of the February 11th, 2026 Special Council Meeting and Committee of the Whole Meeting for the Municipal District of St. Stephen. I'm Florence Mitchell. In the Special Council meeting, Council will make the following motions: to approve a development incentive agreement for 99B King Street, to approve proposed amendments to the 2026 capital plan, to adopt the capital renewal plan for the 2026 to 2029 capital renewal funding allocation, and to adopt the 2024 to 2028 capital investment plan for the Canada Community Building Fund. Finally, Council will discuss Municipal Capital Borrowing Board authorization. The Committee of the Whole meeting will open with two presentations, the first by Brenda Lee of New Brunswick Age-Friendly Communities, and the second by Emma Keach of the Charlotte County Seniors Resource Center on the Nursing Homes Without Walls program. Under new business, Councillor Harding will provide an update on the Community Wellbeing Task Force, and Councillor Heislip will provide an update on the world's oldest basketball court. Finally, Committee will review Bylaw 01-26, establishing a code of conduct for members of Council. Now let's join Council in the Moosehead Room at the Garcelon Civic Centre in St. Stephen.
Welcome. Just 1 second, I gotta turn some ringers off. And you guys can all do the same. All right. Welcome to the Municipal District of St. Stephen Special Council Agenda on Wednesday, February 11th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. And we call to order. Everyone is here in attendance. Thank you all for coming in this nice weather we've had, which is very slippery, by the way. Before we begin, I would like to respectfully acknowledge that we are gathered today on ancestral unceded territory of the Passamaquoddy people. I'll take a mover and seconder for this special council meeting held February 11th, 2026 be approved. Second. Councillor Heislip, Councillor Harding. Questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carried. Thank you. Any conflicts of interest this evening? Seeing none. Okay, new business. Okay. I'll take a mover and seconder for the approval of a development incentive agreement. I'll take the mover and seconder now first. Moved. Councillor Wright, Councillor Greenlaw, that the development incentive agreement for 99B King Street in the Municipal District of St. Stephen be approved in the form previously presented to Council, and the Mayor and Clerk be authorized to sign on behalf of the municipality. Questions? All those in favor? Aye. All right, any opposed? Motion carried. That's a good one, folks. Thank you. I'll take a mover and seconder for the approval of proposed amendments to 2026 capital plan. Mover and seconder. Deputy Mayor Wheaton, Councillor Wright. That Council approve the proposed amendments to the 2026 capital plan as presented. Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. I'll take a mover and seconder for the Capital Renewal Fund Plan 2026 to 2029. Councillor Harding. Second. Councillor Cornish. That the document entitled Municipal District of St. Stephen Capital Renewal Plan, in brackets CRP 2026 to 2029, for the capital renewal funding, CRF in brackets, allocation to be adopted. Questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We'll keep going like this. We're going to have a break before 6 o'clock. All right. I'll take a mover and seconder for the amendment to Canadian Community Building Fund gas tax plan. Councillor Heislip. Second. Councillor Greenlaw. That the document entitled Municipal District of St. Stephen 2024 to 2028 Capital Investment Plan for the Canada Community Building Fund version 2 be adopted. Questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Mover and seconder for the Municipal Capital Borrowing Board, MCBB, authorization.
So moved.
Councillor Harding.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Wheaton. The Municipal Capital Borrowing Board Application Utility Fund, proposed resolution that the local government of Municipal District of St. Stephen submit the Municipal Capital Borrowing Board an application for authorization to borrow for capital expense for the following term and amount. Environmental, oh wait, I'll stop. No, keep on going. Environmental Health Services, interim financing, King Street wastewater pumping station, 1.4 million over 3 years. Street extension and utility infrastructure development. Bud Avenue extension, 888,000, 3 years. Street extension and utility infrastructure development, Maxwell Crossing, well number 1, UV disinfection system, 450,000 over 3 years. And that's it. Any questions? No? Councilor Greenlaw.
Okay, just on the Bud Avenue extension, part of that's underground, it's sewer and water, and the other part of it is transportation street. So is that going to be divvied up afterwards as far as cost, or if there's any residuals?
This actually is the divvied up portion. So this is the utility portion. In your next resolution, we have the stuff that goes to the general fund, which is the pavement and curb and gutter and sidewalks.
Okay. All right, thank you, Councillor. Councillor Wright?
Thank you, Mayor. I was just going to, I understand it, but just for the sake of the public who may be watching, get Jeff too, if he'd be so kind to explain that some of the borrowing is being done on an interim basis because we're expecting grants and other funding to come in. So it's not that we're taking on debt that we didn't previously plan for in our budget discussions.
Yes, Jeff, if you want to explain that, but yes, it's.
I just did, I suppose.
Yeah, but, and that's why it's called, on this particular one, it's referred to as interim financing. It is basically for our cash flow purposes. A lot of the programs, we have to expend the money, do up the paperwork, submit to the government, then we have to wait for a check to come back. So we were able to get interim financing. We do end up eating some interest costs on that, but it certainly helps with cash flow and making sure that we can do things like meet payroll and things like that while we're doing these projects. But yeah, and then subsequent resolution, you'll talk about other types of funding, which is the long-term funding or long-term debt, which will fund different kind of projects.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Jeff. Any more questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, I'll take a mover and seconder for the Municipal Capital Borrowing Board Borrowing Application General Fund. A mover and seconder. Councillor Harding.
Second.
Councillor Greenlaw. That the local government of Municipal District of St. Stephen submit to the Municipal Capital Borrowing Board an application for authorization to borrow for capital expense for the following term and amount. Transportation services, street resurfacing. As per attached listing, $5,250,000 over 15 years. Transportation services, interim financing, Bud Avenue extension, phase 2, $1,785,000, 3 years. Street extension and utility infrastructure development, King Street rehabilitation, $860,000, 3 years. Street.
I couldn't find $860,000 in your Apple Music library.
If that got there, that's not part of it. Street rehabilitation for 500 meters, including curb and sidewalk. And that council has been advised of the potential impact on the property taxes through presentation of the general fund, debt profile, and budget projections, and that council wishes to proceed with the application at this time. Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Motion carried. Yes. I'll take a mover and seconder to adjourn our special council meeting. Councillor Greenlaw, Councillor Wright. All those in favor? Any opposed? Adjourned. Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Municipal District of St. Stephen Committee of the Whole agenda for February 11th, 2026 at 6 p.m. And we've already called to order once. We'll do it again. Before we begin, I would like to respectfully acknowledge that we are gathered today on ancestral unceded territory of the Passamaquoddy people. We'll take a mover and seconder that the agenda for the Committee of the Whole meeting of February 11th, 2026 be approved. Councillor Harding, Councillor Cornish, any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Any conflicts of interest this evening? Seeing none. I will now take a mover and seconder that the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting held on January 14th, 2026 be approved as presented.
So moved.
Deputy Mayor Wheaton.
Second.
Councillor Wright. Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, and before we go into public delegations, I would like to, with your permission, Council, you take a look at the future St. Stephen President's Report, because he has a meeting he's committed to this evening. Okay? All right, so.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, my report's very short, so I'll get right into it. The 5 items that we identified as part of our strategic planning are being put in place, and they include large business, small business, giving a better corporate positioning of what future St. Stephen is all about. Navigating the story of the dock and the hotel, we want to get involved with making sure that those stories get told as they're moving forward. And we've started to contact developers. We're talking to 2 developers within the last week, and we have that developers package that we provide to them as part of the process. There was organization who was interested in bringing the Harvey's restaurant in here, and I'm sure some people have heard about that. And they want to have it where the KFC is right now, Burger King. Burger King is right now. We attended the airport consultation, and also talked to a group of people that were interested in bringing in a skateboarding as part of tourism. So we've talked to them about that also. So that's it for my report.
Oh, there we go. Okay, no, thank you very much, Rivers. I appreciate it. And I hope we can get to your next meeting on time. All right, now I got to shuffle around here. I should say, was there any questions for Rivers' report?
No, thank you.
Okay, all right. Enjoy your evening, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'm going to back up. Next up is New Brunswick Age-Friendly Communities, presentation by Brenda Lee, Community Coordinator. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you, Mayor and Council and members of the public. I feel terrible having my back up here to everybody, but anyways, I'll do the best I can. So I think we're ready to get started. My name is Brenda Lee, as you know, and with me tonight is my colleague, Rose Pitt. So I'm the Community Coordinator for Age-Friendly Communities in New Brunswick. So I thought I'd take a few minutes just to share a quick video with you, which gives you kind of a good overview of the initiative and what's happening in the province. And then I'll just go through a few quick slides just to highlight a few items that may not be included in the video, and then time permitting, a few questions.
Have you thought about how you're going to age within your community? How about your family members and friends? What could the next chapter of their life look like? The fact is that New Brunswick is aging, By 2030, nearly half the population will be 65 or older. At the same time, urbanization is straining housing, infrastructure, and healthcare. Statistics show that most people want to stay in their homes or communities. Furthermore, social isolation is as harmful as smoking. We also know that a lack of transportation limits quality of life, and elder abuse affects 1 in 10 seniors. This emphasizes the growing need for age-friendly communities in New Brunswick and demonstrates why it's so crucial at this pivotal time.
Age-Friendly Active Communities New Brunswick, or AFAC-NB for short, is a dedicated nonprofit organization working in conjunction with the Department of Social Development. Our mission is to inspire and assist communities in achieving and sustaining recognition as an age-friendly community in New Brunswick. In addition, we work to strengthen awareness of the demographic trend of our aging population.
Started by the World Health Organization and in collaboration with the Public Health Agency of Canada, age-friendly communities were established in 2007 and continue to be supported by both organizations today. The research and development of age-friendly communities spans over 3 decades. This research revealed an aging population that is compounded by a reduction in birth rates, as well as an increase in urbanization.
As a result of these findings, the province of New Brunswick launched the Age-Friendly Community Recognition Program in 2012. This program is aimed at providing enhanced support and encouragement for all communities throughout the province to attain age-friendly community recognition.
The goal of the program is to promote health, well-being, and quality of life for older adults, which contributes to the overall well-being of the entire community. This is a comprehensive strategy to overcome challenges and embrace the opportunities pertaining to our aging population and urbanization. The Age-Friendly Community Framework encompasses 8 key domains of an individual's life. These domains are categorized as physical environment, social environment, or personal well-being.
The Age-Friendly Community Initiative takes a proactive, preventative approach to improve living conditions now and in the future. This globally recognized framework, supported by the Government of New Brunswick, ensures communities are designed to promote healthy aging. Managed by the Department of Social Development, the initiative raises public awareness and fosters inclusive, healthier communities for all generations. It is one of the most effective ways to address the challenges of an aging population.
While older adults enrich our communities with wisdom and experience, age-friendly communities benefit everyone, not just older adults. They promote social inclusion, improve public health, and enhance the overall quality of life. An age-friendly community fosters intergenerational connections and has significant socioeconomic and financial benefits. These communities are more inclusive, supportive, and resilient, making them better places for people of all ages to live and thrive, both today and tomorrow.
The concept of neighbors helping neighbors holds a special place in my heart. Living in a New Brunswick community, I have the privilege of experiencing this kind of support every day. Age-friendly communities embody this concept and so much more. They foster respect, social inclusion, employment opportunities, encourage civic engagement, and provide accessible information. Furthermore, these communities prioritize access to community support and health services, creating a foundation for well-being and resilience.
So how can your community become age-friendly recognized? AFAC-NB has created an onboarding package and step-by-step guide to assist you through the process of prepping and applying for age-friendly status as well as the requirements to maintain your status after recognition is awarded. We're here to support you, and we're excited to start this journey with you.
Now is the time to build age-friendly communities in New Brunswick to support a better future for all of us. So basically, an age-friendly community, as you learned, is designed to promote the health, well-being, and quality of life of older adults, which then promotes overall well-being of the entire community. The process is facilitated by citizens and other key stakeholders. It's a preventative approach that improves life today while building a stronger tomorrow. So as you learned in the video, it's backed and supported by the World Health Organization. They have a global network that once your community is recognized, you become part of. It's also backed by the Public Health Agency of Canada. They work to create networking across Canada. I meet monthly with a reference group and other provinces. The province also supports it, as mentioned, since 2012. So they started the Age-Friendly Community Recognition Program to encourage communities to become part of the initiative. So we started in early 2023, and we have all kinds of information. And if you all wouldn't mind following us on Facebook, that would be great. We're trying to build up our following, so that would be perfect. Okay, so we did mention the 8 domains, and these were actually created after looking at the 30 years of research, and how they could best support people in all qualities of their life. So why and why now? As you know, we are aging. I guess we all are every day, but our demographic projections are that nearly 26% of the population by 2030 will be 65 and over. So that's one of the key reasons, I guess, why and why now. Also, research shows that healthy aging starts now to ensure a more vibrant tomorrow. And we're learning more and more every day about social isolation and the barriers, transportation barriers, and how that can negatively impact a person's life. So there are lots of benefits to becoming an age-friendly community, but overall, it's to create a vibrant, inclusive, and resilient community, so it provides a better quality of life for everyone. Even simple changes like an extra bench or intergenerational opportunities or just improving citizen communication can have a huge impact on a community. I've had chairs of the age-friendly committee say to me that when they were doing the assessment of the community as to what was there already, they couldn't believe the things that were in their own community, and they had lived there for 30 years. So it's just key to get that communication out there. I always say starting the conversation is where change really happens. It's also will benefit mayors and council. It's not meant to be more work for you. It's kind of meant to be smarter work. There's all kinds of, the cost is minimal to council. It's basically just passing a resolution, but the benefits are lasting. So not that I want to focus on the benefits for council. To clarify, the Age-Friendly Community Initiative is not intended to focus on that, but rather on what it offers citizens. So at its core, it is a citizen-led process where residents, particularly older adults, are given a structured opportunity to identify what they're experiencing, what challenges they face, and what would meaningfully improve their quality of life within the community. And it's important also to, I know a lot of communities are doing a lot of great things within their communities, but recognition really does matter to stay within that framework. It's becoming part of a greater network, actually a global network. I have communities now that will reach out to Age Friendly Ireland on different initiatives that they're doing over there. It gives credibility and structure to the work. So when residents are given a structured, thoughtful space to share their lived experiences, the realities facing older adults become much more visible. The program ensures that older adults themselves have a voice in shaping priorities and solutions, rather than assumptions being made on their behalf. It's a grassroots, ground-up initiative. So not to minimize that providing programs for older adults is not a strong foundation, but becoming an age-friendly community is actually to create a community where older adults can truly thrive and be part of the process. So as you may or may not know, there's 5 steps to becoming a recognized age-friendly community, and that's why we're here tonight to ask Mayor and Council to consider passing a resolution to become an age-friendly community. From there, a steering community, or a committee, is established, made up of citizens and other stakeholders, which we do recommend that, if possible, a member of council or a staff member sit on that committee just to act as a liaison. Gives that direct line of communication. From there, the committee themselves go to work and they do an assessment on the community. They develop an action plan that for the next 2 or 3 years, and they go to work on that. And we are here to support them through that process. They submit all the documentation to the Department of Social Development to ask for recognition. So just to review, council's role is primarily supportive, including passing a resolution. One of the key things that I find doesn't always get maintained in age-friendly communities is for a mayor and council to promote the fact that they're a recognized age-friendly community. That's really helpful to keep the initiative relevant. And also they can, obviously the committee will come for review with council as to what they're working on. It should be no extra cost to council unless it's something particularly that council is responsible for, like lowering sidewalks potentially, or better lighting or signage for public buildings. Then they'll come, and it's still something that you have to obviously be able to allocate funds for in the budget or whatever. It's not something that's mandated. So the age-friendly committee functions alongside of council. And this allows the committee to listen directly to citizens and to hear firsthand what is working, what is not, and where people may be struggling in their day-to-day lives. And from that, they prioritize the action plan pertaining to those 8 domains. So we're here to support them, as I mentioned, throughout. We start off with a $2,500 financial contribution once the committee's in place and the resolution's been passed. We also have all kinds of information that we share with the new committees. At the end of 5 years, you reapply to the province to maintain your recognition status. It's an ongoing journey. And I always try to get committees to look at succession planning as they are in place. There's all kinds of wonderful partnerships of our age-friendly committees now. Local libraries and schools, Ability New Brunswick, 211, Nursing Homes Without Walls. So all these community-based organizations, we all try to work together as best we can to support citizens. Okay. So does anyone have any questions?
Yes. No, thank you, Brenda. Is there any questions from council?
You have a question.
Yes, you certainly can.
Okay. You mentioned that every 5 years you have to reapply?
Yeah.
Is that?
So it's called a maintenance application, just to show that over the previous 5 years where you've had connection with citizens and what actions you've been working on and that you want to continue this role. In the documentation, they just want an updated copy of the terms of reference for the committee and the application completed and a copy of your new action plan.
Are there many communities in New Brunswick that are already part of this program?
So I personally work with 47 of the 77 communities, and there are 12 that are actually recognized, and there are now 13 and possibly 14 communities that are somewheres in the process. So yeah, we're very excited about that. We've had a lot of new communities this past year that are somewheres in the process, 8 to 10 new, so yeah, it's exciting.
There are people that are very interested in being part of this initiative, right? So how do you go about, and I mean, I know it's not council, but probably people that you have in the community that are interested in being part of this committee?
Yes, and that's a great question. Thank you, because I should have mentioned, when I attended the wellness fair here that the Charlotte County Seniors Resource Center put on, which was lovely, by the way. It was such a huge success, but I met a lot of citizens, and I actually have some who are here this evening that want to be part of the committee already. And they're very supportive and excited, and so it's something where I guess they would just put their names forward, or take up the baton and come to council and say, we have a committee ready to move forward, which it sounds like that is the case, which a lot of committees don't always have that. That's a huge blessing to get started off with, so yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You weren't on microphone there at the tail end of it. Not everyone hears our thank yous out there, right, Trudy? When you're online, yeah, I'm talking about you. Go ahead, Brian.
There we go. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be as friendly. A question for you, well timed right now, not by council, but a personal thing on my own agenda with another group. Without mentioning the name of the actual community, I was asked to take part in, help with a parcel of land that's owned by a church. Okay. And these people are very interested in developing it for seniors. Now, what they're working at right now is the actual proposal, and we're trying to filter out what that complex would look like, whether it had food, whether it should be managed unit, or what it's going to be. They're still in the early stages, but this is well timed. I was making lots of notes, and I was paying attention. And the thing about it is that would you be willing to look at this type of proposal and have input so that we'd have something that may fit in it? I like this idea. Not that I'm a senior, but anyway.
No, absolutely. To make sure that it meets the criteria, like it's accessible and Ability New Brunswick, they're wonderful to come out and do those assessments with us as well. So.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll be meeting with this group again later next week, and I'm sure your credentials are on here somewhere, your contact number, and I would certainly like to have a chat with you. Thank you very much.
I had some questions over here. Councilor Rodas?
Well, I'd really like to make a motion to pass this next meeting. It would be amazing. Personally, that's my opinion, because when you work in the community with seniors in isolation and you hear the feedback, most of them link their mental and physical health issues back to social isolation, not having, people that they can communicate with to take them out, maybe to do something, do any type of activity. And every single day people lose their licenses. They're living with dementia by themselves. And I see people with no power, no water, and that's the reality of our community. And sometimes we forget that, but we are a very rural community. So, when you get out into the ridges, you really recognize how bad it is. And I would actually double that elder abuse Like if you actually were in the amount of homes I'm in, you would double it. So to me, I'm like the benefits of a community and the benefits to the taxpayer too. Like not having that bombarding amount of people going to the ER or being admitted, for instance, just for a social admission because they have nobody, no POA, no family, no friends. So I'm all for it, and I think we should pass a resolution before this term's up.
Oh, we can do that.
Yeah. Oh my, that's the first clap I've ever.
Suck it up, Emily. That's all you can do. Just all right. See if you get one out of you, Councilor.
Well, it's too late now because I was going to say the same thing, but no, I think it's a great initiative. I like the input. I mean, we're doing projects now that I think fit in with this, like lighting for the trailway down there and the trailway itself. But we're also just, as you've seen in the last meeting, we just passed $5.5 million to do the streets and sidewalks and everything. So those designs should fit into that too, as well, right? And so that, and there's things that I can think off the top of my head, but it has to have that other input to actually come to materialize, right? And that's what I think that the committee would be, useful for. Is that I see things. Everybody sees things different. But if you have a committee together that are looking at certain things that are going to fit their agenda or their purpose, then that brings it to light a little bit faster and easier for the council to see it and say, yeah, we can design those streets. I mean, if we design them 2 inches lower, that's saving us money at the same time as providing somebody, accessible sidewalk, right? And that's what we've seen downtown now. Some of these ones, I don't think I was around when they first did the course sidewalks, and a lot of people find those difficult to walk on now. Plus, I'm an engineer background, so they heave different ways in different areas, and it's providing a real safety risk now that we probably didn't know about back then. It just looked good, right? So, it did, and they did look good. And when they're new, everything looks good, right? But in the future, they provide some danger. So I think, I would recommend, and you stole my thunder on that I'm all for it personally, but I'm also a part of a councillor that I think, we should go forward with this and maybe look at this seriously for the next meeting, right? So, yeah, thanks.
Wonderful. Well, I mean, the committee is meant to gather the voices of all the citizens in a constructive way, format, and bring their concerns forward and their challenges. So that's wonderful. And probably there'll be a lot of projects you already have planned or working on, but they're able to identify their lived experiences.
Okay, well, thank you, Brenda. I think you won the room tonight, so thank you, and we'll look forward to. Yeah.
That's a great weather.
So thanks so much. And thank you, Council, for those kind words. Okay. So next up, we got Charlotte County Seniors Resource Center Nursing Home Without Walls. Presentation by Emma, Seniors Resource Manager. Hi, Emma. Welcome.
Thank you. It's been a couple of years since I was here, so I thought I'd pop back and see you and give you an update. So just for those who aren't aware of our timeline, November 1st, 2023, the Senior Resource Centre officially began operations under Passamaquoddy Lodge as part of the Nursing Home Without Walls program, funded through social development. In March 2024, an application was submitted to social development for a budget amendment to support the expansion of our services to 2 satellite offices. In May 13th, 2024, we hired a Campobello community coordinator, followed by a Grand Manan community coordinator in July 2024, marking a significant expansion of services across Charlotte County. In April of last year, we just signed a 5-year contract with social development, and our service expansion continues. In July 2025, we hired an Eastern Charlotte community coordinator. We have recently celebrated our 2-year anniversary on November 1st, and we are now looking forward to our 3rd year of operations and continuing to serve our community. And I should mention that we also have a community coordinator for St. Stephen as well. So people are finding us in all different ways, self-referrals, through friends and family, People are also finding us through trusted entry points now, so extramural, social development. So Nursing Home Without Walls is becoming a more recognized program, and so it's just continuing to grow. That bunch of good-looking people are my team. And over the past 2 years, our team has grown from the 2 of us to 6 staff. So there just originally was Carol and I when we started. Our main office is located in St. Andrews, and the satellite sites support Grand Manan, Campobello, Eastern Charlotte, St. Stephen, and we have a dedicated administrative support. The coordinators visit individuals in their home, which eliminates transportation, financial, and physical barriers, and people can also make appointments and come in to the office. We have an advisory committee that was established since I was here. They provide governance, oversight, and strategic guidance for our Nursing Home Without Wall program. It ensures alignment with the program mandate, any obligations, and approved budgets. It monitors outcomes and supports effective service delivery, who report to the Board of Directors at Passamaquoddy Lodge. So they are also advocating for program sustainability and support staff capacity. This is a breakdown of our clients currently. When I sent this in, we had 488 clients across Charlotte County and the Fundy Isles, and now we're actually at 500 clients. So what we do is we actually help people apply for financial benefits or other benefits that they are eligible for. So some of the things that we've helped people apply for are property tax allowance, the direct-to-tenant benefit, workers' benefit, low-income senior benefit, backdating of the guaranteed income supplement, uncashed revenue checks. It's really client community driven. So once we meet with a client, we can determine the things they are eligible for and help them apply for those things. This is particularly for St. Stephen. These are things that we've helped clients with in St. Stephen apply for. It's an ever-growing list. We knew this year was the Snow Angels, so we connected people who were willing to shovel pathways to seniors, and then they coordinated what their expectations were. But that's really been a big success this year. So this is a number we're extremely proud of. So in the last 2 years, we've applied for $1,156,198.98 in benefits for people, for our clients in this area in Charlotte County. So giving that money back to clients. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Click. Okay, great. Thank you. In our first year, we held a seniors expo in St. Andrews. We had 28 vendors and 135 visitors. Last year, we held it at the Garceland Civic Center here. We had 41 vendors and 286 attendees. And as Brenda Lee spoke to, they were there as well. So we're very pleased about that. We are working towards another one for 2026 in collaboration with other service providers to make it bigger and better and provide more information. One thing we do help with, we've assisted 18 clients applying for the home repair programs through the home repair program and minor home repair program through social development. They're all at several different stages, but here are some of the examples of the completed ones. Several steps, a roof, $6,000 worth of plumbing for one client. And one client in this community received a replacement of his outside steps and a bathroom renovation for the floor. And it goes beyond being a home renovation. The renovation allows them to stay in their own home and for service providers to continue, vital service providers to continue them coming and supporting them. We also offer educational sessions. We try to spread them across the county. So some of the things we've worked with Lisa Cheney from Canadian Mental Health, Parkinson's information. We're a community-driven program, and so we heard from the clients that there was a need for computer and digital skills. So we also work with Keith McKinnon from MB Libraries, who comes from St. John, to the office, and he provides computer lessons one-on-one. He's a very popular guy. Our most recent session was held in September. Another session we had was held in September. We partnered with Paul Logan from Keller Williams Capital Realty to offer a session on downsizing your home. So we're always looking at things that we can offer that people are interested in. We're working on offering sessions in April in collaboration with the Public Legal Education and Information Services. And then in May, we're looking at working with Service Canada to provide information on CPP and all of those things. We do have a monthly newsletter that is distributed to our registered clients. The newsletter contains up-to-date information on community events and available benefits. This newsletter is shared both digitally and by mail to ensure accessibility for all clients. As our client base continues to grow, we are looking for future sponsorship from local businesses and community partners to ensure this remains a sustainable and valuable resource for those we serve. With a growing list of nearly the 500 clients across Charlotte County, we really receive feedback on how much the clients value this information and look forward to receiving it. So this is some of our wins and the future. One of our biggest wins has been serving as a trusted landing pad and a listening ear for individuals who seek information and support. When we're unable to assist directly, we ensure people are guided in the right direction. We deliver information in ways that are accessible to the community, whether it be written form, digitally, or through other formats, so nobody is left behind. A core priority of our Nursing Home Without Walls site was to gain a deeper understanding of the population we serve, and as a result of this work, we've been recognized as a strong example for future rural and remote sites, including being invited to present our approach to the Rural Ottawa Health Society. And that is a very quick update in a nutshell, but we're very busy. We are continuing to grow, and we're very proud and very happy to serve our clients.
Well, thank you, Emma. I'm going to try and ask some questions before you guys start rolling. What if there's a group of people that, or it doesn't have to be a group, one person, and they wanted to help and maybe fix that step that I just saw or shovel that snow? Like, is there a number they can call or contact, and can you provide that information to them and say, can we help out?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously the confidentiality piece for the client is always the biggest piece, but connecting people with people who are willing is always the biggest win, absolutely. Oh.
Sorry about that. So no, thank you for that. And my other, I guess I do have one more question. Is Nursing Home Without Walls is very similar to extramural? I would like same type of service?
Different programs. We're a non-medical, and each Nursing Home Without Wall offers different services depending on so each Nursing Home Without Walls is under the umbrella of a nursing home. So we leverage what we have in the community and we follow the community need, and we saw that system navigation was a huge need, and so we're under social development, and so we are separate from extramural, but we certainly work together. It's been a beautiful relationship.
All right, so you complement each other. Perfect. Is there any, Emily or Council Rodas, sorry?
Yeah, we're in touch like every week. We may or may not have done those steps together, but I just want to say these ladies are on fire. Like, it is so supportive and helpful too to have them just in your corner at all hours of the day. And I mean, I will send a referral and Carol will follow up on it the next day. She has an answer for me. And a lot of the things, like right now, currently, I have the updated number of people from here to Sussex waiting for nursing home right now is 370. So my job is also exploding, or sometimes sometimes these things are small things that, for me to drive out to, an hour out to a ridge to do one small thing. And it helps like the service providers be able to do what they're actually, I guess, intended more so to do. Like, I emailed Carol about digital literacy just yesterday. There was a lady who was like, I wouldn't know what to do, for instance, if something happened to my husband, because he does everything digitally. So I just reach out to these girls and like next day they're on it. So we could probably grow that clientele list by a couple hundred even in the next, it's always growing, but seriously, it's made the biggest difference in our community. And I just want to thank you. You've killed it.
Thank you, Emily. Councilor Gornish.
The previous presentation, I see that this possibly is a complementary system that would support that also. It seems to be one of the missing links obviously it's properties, homes, which you just talked about, Emily, and what the ladies just talked about before. So it's kind of interesting that both the presentations were made in the same night, so it kind of helps us. Yeah, I appreciate it, and I thank you very much, and wish you success.
It might have been planned that way. You never know. Yeah. Is there anyone else first? Okay, go ahead, Councilor.
So my next public ask is find a lawyer to partner with, kind of like the hospital association did. The not having power of attorney or wills is a literal nightmare in this province, especially if you meet somebody with dementia with no friends or family. You have to get a doctor to deem them incompetent, and you can't, if they're not agreeable to go to the hospital, then you literally can't, and they just live in squalor and that's most of my job now. But I'm like, if they had a way earlier on to get that done by a trusted person, then that would just, everything would be okay. Like even if we're a neighbor, but it's just so costly, right? It's about $1,000 each for just a basic, and you can do a holographic will in New Brunswick. It is legal, but I wouldn't recommend it. But even getting a commissioner oath to stamp it, you can get it done. So that would be my next thing. Just like the Seniors Expo, have a massive power of attorney and will expo, and I think it would be really helpful.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate what you're doing. Okay. So, I'll just give it a minute there and they're all. So next up, we got new business, community safety, community well-being task force update. Councillor Harding.
Thank you. Now I really feel old after. Anyway, yes, we met. Is this working? We met on February 2nd. I'll wait till that. Okay. There, they gone? Yeah. Okay. Well, we met on the 2nd day of February, and everyone was present. And we talked about, the big word was accountability, and the big word there was accountability about the shelter here in St. Stephen. We talked about the terms of reference for this committee, and finally we got our last member signed into a committee, Rob. And then I asked, I only got one answer, but I asked for the people on the committee to send me a priority of what they want this task force to do. So I got one answer back, and that was from Pete. Anyway, there was a request that went out to Jim Stewart, and the request was as follows. It was a client eligibility, intake and discharge, what happens there, codes of conduct, safety, supervision protocols. And that went out at 4:04 on the Monday of the meeting, and we haven't heard anything back. We would like to know, this committee would like to know the day-to-day operations of the shelter and what happens there. It didn't start really with this committee. It started with Councillor Cornish when he asked last week at a council meeting, you know, if these people are qualified to run it, or what are the qualifications do they have, what happens when they get in, what happens to get out when they get out. But anyway, accountability was definitely on the docket, and that's what we're trying to find out. And although I think there's a lot more to this well-being, I think this would be part of it tonight maybe, there's a lot more to this well-being than the shelter. But I do believe that this is what is going to get the most look at in the next few months, because people are fed up to the nines with the shelter and the people who live there. So ask me any question that you want. If I can answer it, I will.
Councillor Cornish?
Just to ask a couple of questions, Mark. Just to get the feeling, last meeting we talked about the bridge, and obviously we voted that down. We haven't talked about the lodge for some time. What's the feeling around the neighborhood now? We had a meeting with them 3 months ago. Is it changed any, or is it quieted down, or is it the same?
I do believe it's the same. I think that the neighbors are just totally up to their wits' ends with it. And spring is coming, and it's going to be worse and more of it. I have been a firm supporter of these people that live there. I think this shelter should be taken out of town and put somewhere else. That's never going to happen, but that's what I'd like to see. But no, people are still just as upset as they always were, Brian.
Yesterday, a lot of people have probably read it. It was on Facebook about the lady that was walking yesterday and was almost accosted by 4 people. Those individuals, I can't say they're from that area,
Okay,
but
hold on. We speak about facts in here, and then we don't even know the details of what you're talking about. That's Facebook. I'm not talking about Facebook in here. Please and thank you. Is there anything more besides that?
I was just going to ask the question, is there any idea where these people actually came from, out of town or where? We don't know.
No.
Okay, Al.
Exactly. We're not talking about, anyway. I want to strike that. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm just curious what was the priority, the one email you did receive?
Accountability. Oh, I guess I'm still on. Yeah. Accountability. Sure. You can ask me, yeah.
Just accountability, I'm just trying to understand like the definition of it. Is the accountability like who is accountable for the spill out or the operations, or is it the province or the nonprofit? Like,
no, it's not based on the province. I don't believe Councillor Rhodes. I think it's all based on neighborhood works, from what I'm hearing from this. And when one of our members sends a letter, and 2 weeks later still hasn't got a reply, there's something wrong with this picture.
I'd like to speak a little bit. I mean, I'll wrap that word accountability up. What the citizens are really looking for is they want a better understanding of what's going on, and they want to understand the process. The word accountability is probably not the right word or the title for it, but that's my opinion. And I do want to speak about, so we're working on getting the ministers on that task force to come talk to our community, and I'm looking forward to that so they can explain to us so we can have a better understanding of what the process is and what we need to do in our community. The other thing I want to add is that there has been improvements. You know, I know the neighbors would not still want the shelter gone, but there has been improvements, and I've witnessed them. And I spoke to one of the neighbors, and who was a good friend of mine, and because I noticed it myself. And I'll give you the example. I was literally coming up Union Street, and the ambulance was going, and I was coming from the Civic Center, and I was driving out in it, and when I was behind it, the lights and sirens just shut off. And I said, what's going on here? So I asked my friend and the neighbor, and he says, oh, they started doing that now. They don't go in lights and sirens and wake up the neighborhood. So that's a good positive change, I guess what I'm saying. They're not disrupting the neighborhood. So there is a lot of positive change, and I am on the advisory board, and I know they're adjusting and making changes every day and learning. But otherwise, the biggest thing is I want to get them here and have the province explain to us and our community, and move forward from there. I think that's what's missing, and that's the big thing. And we notice that in all our emails we have. That there was a very consistent question. We want to know what the next step is, and is this next step the last step? And because they don't want, and they want to know if they're accountable for the next step following that, because all these steps have to follow, or the next 2 steps won't. It doesn't work. I mean,
well,
that's all I had. That's what I wanted to add.
After the Telegraph Journal last week, when it said that another place for this bridge housing would be at the hospital, my phone rang for 2 days. I said, what happened there? Did you give that quote?
The what? Sorry?
That the bridge housing would be at the hospital, or that would?
No. That's not accurate. No, I never gave that quote. I said there is other properties available, and this one isn't working at this time, and then they'll have to go on to the next phase. Plan B, I called it. Yeah.
Are you sure, Mayor, that we want to go on with a Plan B? Really?
So as I just said, I want the province to come down and talk to us and explain to us what it means, and maybe we'll all be in a better place to understand that who's sure and who's not. That's what it's communication and education, and I don't know about you, but I'm learning this on the fly as well. So, anyways, yeah, Councillor Rodas.
Well, I would be excited to have the province here, because then I think as a council, we can also advocate for them to hire healthcare professionals to be on site. And I do think that we need to advocate for a more rural approach. Like, even when I took social work, they had a whole course on rural social work, because they said all the rules of the city just don't apply in a rural area. Like, you don't have transportation, you don't have a walk-in clinic, you have an overcapacitated ER. Like, we just don't have the same resources down here. So I just think that the government hasn't figured that out, because we are maybe a more rural area experiencing higher rates of homelessness, but they need to use our town as a model and say, okay, how do we do the wraparound service here in this community of St. Stephen and make it happen? Like, if you're going to put people uptown in St. John that are nurse practitioners and LPNs, and then why can't we have that here, right? So I'd love to advocate for that directly with them when they come.
Yeah, good point, Councillor Rodas. But my point is that I don't think people want them here. I don't know what world other people are living in, but I know the world that I'm on the other end of the telephone. People don't want them here.
Well, just 1 second. I don't want to speak about this all night, but whether they're in a shelter or on the streets, they're still here. I'll just leave it at that. They're still here. Anyways, Brian.
Just a quick one. Margaret, any indication, do you have any stats? RCMP, I believe, is on your team also. Has there been an increase of ambulances? We started off years ago trying to get more forces here to help out. The RCMP identifying, the ambulance service identifying more use than the has been past?
Yes, I did ask that question. And yes, but they don't have to answer it. You can look at the last RCMP quarterly report that they put out. 807 occurrences. And I'm willing to bet that 95% were from the shelter.
Okay. It's just. Yeah. No, that's what committee's for, folks.
Yeah. No, I was up to the shelter, or not the bridge, up in housing up Somerset Acres, and there's a lot of misnomers about ambulances going there, because there's still people that are sick and there. They still have health problems. Because you're addicted to a substance doesn't mean you don't have a heart problem, or somebody was actually there as a, was there. Dying, and they didn't want them going up in the streets. Palliative care. So, I mean, the ambulance was there 3 times a day sometimes. So there weren't any overdoses, or 2 or 3, I think they quoted. So, I mean, I don't like that, saying 95, I bet 95%, because that's not even fact, right? And, but I am confused about, like, this letter to Jim Stewart. Like, you had one meeting, that was your first official meeting. You had one feedback back that said accountability, but so it was discussed that was accountability was the top one. Who sent out the letter to Jim Stewart? Was it part of the committee, or was it an individual that sent it out to him? Because it should be part of the committee.
Go ahead, Jeff.
So for clarity, it was I emailed Mr. Stewart, and I can make the copy of the email available to council. But it was basically to gain an understanding of how the operations work, mainly from my office, to be able to dispel the myths and rumors about what is or is not happening inside that facility. We've heard, and you've heard it too, anything from it's an absolute free-for-all inside that building, anybody can do whatever they want, to that there are rules and there are penalties, and so what I had requested was whatever written protocols they have, whatever written operations they have, so we could actually have a good understanding, so we could dispel the myths and rumors of what is or is not happening. It wasn't that directed by the task force for me to do that. I did that following our meeting, because it was a topic of conversation, and it got me thinking about how do we manage the concerns that we're having. And knowledge is a good thing, and knowledge is something that we can feed to the rest of the community especially with our new communications officer, once we understand it. So I put the email out. Mr. Stewart has acknowledged that he received it, and he said he would get back to me. That was just Monday this week. So I'm waiting to see what they're willing to share with us, to try and work together to improve the public profile of the services being delivered at that location.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor. And Council. Okay. All right. Next up, conserve the court. Councillor Heislip.
I think it's just as presented, Your Worship. It's not much. I think there was two. They said they upgraded the system over there, the security system. I don't know if there was any issues there. He didn't elaborate on that. And they are launching for the court this contribute 1,000 donors for $1,000 each, and that'll be starting in a couple of weeks. So that's the two highlights this month.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
On the longstanding issue of the potential land transfer, I was happy to get a message from Mr. Fulton that they had found a legal consultant that they felt had the expertise to help manage through the charitable tax implications of the transfer. I agreed to work collaboratively with Mr. Fulton and his team and this new law firm to see if we can't find a mutually agreeable set of terms that protects everybody's interests. So that's just the first set of documents were just sent, I think, yesterday over to the law office. So it's at its initial stage, but just to let you know that is back on the front burner here, and we're working through a process to try and get to where we all want to be, which is that facility, that site, is transferred over to the to Canada First Basketball and their goals and operations. So I'll keep you updated, but it's starting to move again, which is nice.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, David. And next up is departmental reports. Jeff, your next CAO report.
Thank you, Your Worship. So the had four main items there that I put on this month's report. The capital renewal fund for your plan. You just adopted at the last meeting earlier today. It's not everything, but I think it is something that the councils across the province should be appreciative of from the current government. They may not be everything that was promised during election campaigning, but it's a big deal. If you look at the numbers that are in that plan, you look at just shy of $3 million over the next 4 years, and you look at how we have recommended to you and that it be used. This is a catch-up fund. We can't do anything new with it. But it's a way to deal with some of our infrastructure deficits. One of the reasons we had to tweak our capital plan is Mr. Morton one day came into the office to advise me that a couple of our trucks wouldn't pass motor vehicle inspection anymore, despite we all know the best efforts of our team and the way they can Frankenstein vehicles together and make things work for much longer than anybody else can. Eventually, even it's beyond their repair. So this fund is going to actually let us get some of that rolling stock back into a state where a better asset management plan, a better multi-year capital plan is going to allow us to keep those things in a better state going forward. So not always the first one to give kudos to our friends at GNB, but we should be very appreciative of those dollars that are going to be rolling in over the next number of years. And the fact that it's indexed and it's going to keep growing as we go forward is going to be a huge deal for this community to allow municipal tax dollars to focus on other more strategic items while some of these other deficits are made up. So and we'll give a shout out to our friends at GNB in Fredericton on that.
If our guys can't keep a vehicle on the road, it's done. I just want to say, because they do. So hats off to them. So, okay, thank you. Back to you, Jeff.
The rest of it, it's there for your consumption. A few things that I was writing down here that didn't make this report. Next week, I will be meeting with our representative from RDC to talk about funding options for the 15-year strategic plan for the potable water system that we've been working on, that we will bring to you very shortly, but I'm hoping to have some kind of funding plan attached to it before we present it. So they're very keen to know that we are ready to talk, so they're actually coming down for an in-person meeting. Our engineer is going to come down and join us as well to have that chat next week. I did meet this morning with the potential developer for the Bud Avenue Extension project, housing project, to start that more detailed discussions about how we get that project over the finish line and off and running. We got some work to do to make the math work for him, but the dialogue is ongoing and open, which is always a good thing. And the other thing, just a note for you, I'm sure you probably saw it, but the new addition to the CO's report, which is the HR manager's report. Gina has hit the ground running, including a 257-page new HR policy handbook that we're working our way through, which is not too bad for one task in the first 30 days of their time here. And soon we'll be seeing the addition of a summary report from our communications officer, who's now in office and starting to get off and running himself. So, yeah. But with that, I'm happy to take any questions if there are any.
Councilor Greenlaw?
Yeah, just the new staff. Would it be possible to get a photograph and a little bio of them and kind of introduce them to us so we know who they are? If we see them on the street, we can welcome them, right?
I will get the communications officer on prepping something for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm happy that you got those two new additions, and there was another addition who's Celeste as well, and I noticed it when I read the report. I can't tell you how happy I am to be not to have to bother Jeff all the time when he's busy. And Celeste, you got my back all the time, and you keep me moving. So I appreciate all your work you're doing as well. So thank you. I know you're hiding behind the scenes there, but I just saw it when you said the CAO mayor report here. It's appreciated. For all those things, I can leave Jeff alone and let him deal with his other things. So thank you. And Councilor Rodas, go ahead.
Yeah, and thank you for all the work on the healthcare file. I mean, things are moving along, and I think we're finally securing some dotted lines in our near future. So I want to thank Celeste for that too. I know sometimes it's hard to juggle and coordinate, but Deputy Mayor and I are just very excited about that. And I again want to thank you just for the really excellent competitive physician incentive. If we had not done that, we would not be in this position right now, and that will literally change the lives of thousands of people. If each physician could take on around 2,000 people and a nurse practitioner could take on, I think they're allotted maybe 1,000, it's life-changing for people that, if you have cancer and you don't have a doctor, it is not fun to watch people go through that. So that's life-changing work, and I think that our incentive really was the most competitive that we've seen, maybe perhaps even on the East Coast. So much kudos. You're changing lives, Jeff.
Thank you, Emily. Okay. Deputy CO, Sean.
I don't have too much directly from my report to speak of. Pretty much speaks for itself. I would say that Public Works has been busy hauling snow, all winter. Our snow dump's full, had to push it back and make more room. So we've been busy with that. The roads, we notice, like everybody else, that pre-spring heave and hump and hole season has begun. I can appreciate it's no fun to drive on, and it's no fun to plow snow on either. We're doing our best not to break plows and tear up big chunks of asphalt, and it can be a challenge. So we're doing our best, and we appreciate the public's support when we're out there doing our jobs. To the Frankensteining of vehicles, yes, it happens a lot. I sent Jeff a picture the other day of one of our payloaders that's on that plan somewhere in the future. It's sitting there with no engine, no drivetrain, it's all out on the floor, and Conrad's putting it back together. We're able to do those things in our shop, and we're very, very fortunate. Most communities don't have that ability. While he's trying to put the drivetrain back in, Seth's welding parts so the driver doesn't fall out going down the road, and so it's a team effort. Some guys are good with the electrical, some are welders, some are transmission guys, motor guys. They all play a part in keeping that old equipment on the road. But as Jeff has said, it's time to catch up, and this plan will help, and we really do appreciate it, because we can only keep them going for so long. But kudos to the guys out there at the shop that keep that going. There was a discussion whether we needed the roof or a payloader, but I said I need the roof because I need to repair the payloader and a bunch of other stuff underneath the roof. So the roof had to come first. But no, I don't have anything too much more to say. But of course, there may be questions from my report that I'll take.
Just a comment. I got to witness being a citizen, yesterday at one of my places I look after, and we had no sewer drain coming out of our building, and we're getting close to having to shut her down, and those guys showed up, not even 20 minutes. I had to run in town, pick up my granddaughter and take her home, and get back up to help the guys, and it was done before I got back. And they brought that big vac truck in and fixed the problem that was in that storm or manhole cover there that you guys jump into or whatever you do, but I appreciate how quick they were. The response was awesome. But anyway, thank you. Councilor Greenlaw.
Yeah, after the winter, I think our road condition index is probably out the window. So
Hasn't improved, that's for sure.
No. I just noticed that there was two services turned off for water. Was that due to lack of payment, or was that just a normal, somebody asked them to be shut off for?
I would say it's, honestly, I'm not sure. I don't get those reports.
Wasn't payment related?
No. It could be that they were having problems. We get calls for that. A plumber will call, you gotta come shut us down, and we shut it off. And that gets recorded in the statistics. So that's likely what it was. Somebody was having a problem.
Councilor Greenlaw, or Cornish.
The other end. Just a quick question, when I come through the rural area, I hit down St. Stephen pretty quick. And I noticed that the crews have the street almost bare when they have to snow plow. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. Kudos to your guys out there that's doing the work. But is there a different type of plow used in the rural area as there in town?
It's just a plow.
Well, you bring up a good point. You made me think of something else. It's we have a smaller area, I guess, so to speak. We're a little more concentrated, and we do get out early. The crew, we try to get out early before the traffic gets in and gets in the parking spots and moving around, because everything just slows right down when that happens. So most mornings they're out at 4 a.m. on a day like today. It's 4 a.m. is when they start. And salt is helpful to keep the roads bare. We have used some sand this winter. The temperatures, the whole way through January and most of February meant salt only worked, in the middle of the afternoon when the sun was up high. So unfortunately, we have had to use some sand this year, but not to the levels of what we've been doing in the past. So it's a combination of things. The guys are out early and dedicated to what they're doing, and the way we do things. But the plows are the same.
I'm just curious. Oh, yeah. When you say it's a smaller area, but I bet you there's a lot of length of streets there if you added it all up. But no, that's
49 kilometers.
All right. All right. Councilor Rodas.
Yeah, I want to say I was talking with the high school student who did their co-op with your team, and I just want to say that is evidence right there, because when a student shares their knowledge that they gained, The student said to me, that is the most I've seen people work as a team in my whole life. And that was the biggest takeaway, was that they all treat each other with such respect, and there's such wisdom sharing and passing, and kind of like this deep appreciation for one another. And so that student, for him to be able to see that in real time, I just think we have really excellent mentors in our public works staff, and those little things make all the difference in a kid's life. So there's the evidence right there. I just wanted to pass that along, that we appreciate your work and your knowledge.
Thank you for that comment. Thank you. All right. Let's see if we can go to Parks and Community Services Report. Kev.
Thank you, Your Worship. So just a few highlights from my report as it's presented. Wanted to say how we had some surplus skates from our lending library, so we appreciate those were given, and we've donated them on to one of the schools, and we're still also in need of any of the larger sizes. If any adults no longer use them, we'll gladly take them. It's still very well used, and it's just a good service we have for our community. So other highlights include the solar lights have been ordered, working well with the BIA. So we should hopefully be seeing those as soon as the weather permits, and we can get those in the ground. We have had some interest from another service group for adding lights to closer to the kind of SPCA end of the trail down there. So it shows that, and using the similar style, using the same opportunity. So it just shows, we want to work, and hopefully we can get some of the service groups working in the healthy competition with each other to add some lights to the trail. So other things in my area, the administration side, just working through playground certification, planning for the summer with the employment grants, and as you'll see in Michelle's section of the report, and in Aaron's as well, they're planning into next November, or this November and December. So we're very busy with what's going on. Things just on the immediate horizon in regarding Aaron's department, the March break training. He's got interest there in the looking for lifeguards, if there's potential young lifeguards that are interested, and the life-saving sport pool championships, which is a big thing for us to have. You can't say how proud we are to have those things coming to St. Stephen. And Jeremy, in his report, the winter is hitting our buildings hard. Lots of work in collaboration with the library, including the lights that this time of year it's still quite dark, and making sure it's safe, and making sure that the roof is good. Same with the Five Kings, just helping them with their HVAC system that was down for a little while over the late January, and still again looking after Union Street and the work that is needed there. I think Sean will testify to that it's ongoing. So other things, I really want to thank Mayor McEachran and Deputy Mayor Wheaton for coming out on Monday, helping with the International Homecoming Festival. We had a meeting with our neighbours from Calais and felt very positive and progressive. Something which we can bring to the next council meeting, just a decision there. Another deadline Michelle noted in her is I'll give it a shout. It's March 15th. There is a deadline to submit business and event information to her visitor guide. So anything that can help. And one thing I know that myself and Sean, and with some help from Celeste as well, working with the issue of life preservers, and adding those, if we wanted to do that, and wanted to bring it as a discussion to the committee meeting. We had a constructive meeting with a member of the public who asked about them, and I think Deputy Mayor Wheaton has been in touch. So we've researched. It's something which we don't have to do. Municipalities don't have to do them, but I know that there's more municipalities that are adding them, installing them. We have 1.6 kilometers of waterfront between the River Street apartments and just before the Ferry Point Bridge there. So we have a lot of section of the trail. Obviously, the wharf is a busy spot during the summer, and there will obviously be concerns, pros and cons, the costs, the vandalism, but they're obviously a great thing to have as well. So, unless there's any other questions, we can continue talking about that if we want to. So.
Yeah. So just for clarity, you're talking about the river, and I think you add that in there. Yeah. So. So thank you for the work on that. I want to go back to the International Festival Committee and speak about the meeting a little bit. And one of the takeaways I'll take and what I asked to do, and we're already on board. They kind of did it last time with the hugs across the border instead of the handshake, but our goal this year is to prove to I don't care if it's North America or the world that St. Stephen and Calais, politics aside, are going to do our international festival. We're just going to ignore the politics and do it. And I'm hoping for a bigger and better handshake across the border, not just everything. That handshake across the border, I'd love to see every person in our community down there doing that. And I'd like to encourage that. And I think the time is right for that too. I really do. And I want to talk about there is some confusion out there about us wanting the public involved in forming a committee. That's not to replace staff. That's just to complement staff. And our goal there is to create an energy that we're not getting when you have staff. We need the boots on the ground, the public, and just create a new energy and start boosting that up and energies and ideas and just get the momentum rolling. So I think it's important, not just for International Festival. I think it could be bigger than that, but we definitely got to start there. And so I think it's a very positive meeting, and I thank for everyone for all their work on that. And let's keep her going. We're on whatever it is now, 50 plus years now. So let's keep on rolling. And there was great acceptance for that too. And like I said, I think it will go great. I really do. All right. So thank you, Kev. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Councillor.
Yeah, I remember, I think there was a presentation probably done about 6 or 7 years ago, Communities in Bloom. Yes. And they talked about that kind of community engagement. And, if a community builds a ball field, they take pride in that ball field, and they take pride in making sure it's upkept. And that's what they were trying to promote. Communities in Bloom was trying to promote actually community members to form a committee to go and do things, because they take pride in it after that, and it's their ball field, and they even monitor it for any vandalism and everything else. So I think that's the same way as you're saying, we're gaining some momentum in the International Festival, because you take pride in that, right? The other thing I wanted to comment on was I noticed Jeremy's report there, and getting a lot of comments about lighting in the arena, and then we had comments on the dehumidifier, all those parts. It takes time and timing, right? And it takes, because we order parts and it takes time for them to come in, but also that lighting can't go in until the ice is out. So it's going to be done, because I know people have asked me about it. It's on our list there tonight. Just wanted to point that out, that the lighting's been ordered. It just has to wait till the ice gets removed, and we have an opportunity to put them in to even out all the lighting in the arena. So,
and I would just add that to any of the staff, they're held back by funds too. I mean, everyone could do a lot more when we talk about streets, but there's just only so much a small community can do. But just don't think that the Civic Center team wouldn't love to have lights on, sitting there in a box ready to go right now, and dehumidifiers and all these things. We just talked about trucks earlier. It's the same thing. So we got to do our best with what we got, and they're doing well again. The same as the works crew. They're doing their best with the tools and supplies they have and the funds. So I just want to show appreciation for that. So thank you, Kev, and your team. And now, speaking of money, Treasury report.
Thank you, Your Worship. Reports in front of you. I think I'm just going to highlight mainly what the activities are for myself and our staff. Really, at this stage, February is kind of one of our busiest months for a lot of activity. I've got Sydney, our finance clerk, is primarily handling all of our day-to-day. She's doing the payables, receivables, and payroll. And my assistant treasurer and myself are concentrating on items that have to get done by the end of the month and early March. So right now, we're dealing with, there's a number of compliance items that need to be done with workers' compensation, payroll, all that sort of thing. And I've got Nikki working on part of that, as well as donation receipts. Nikki working on part of that. I've been working on the Municipal Capital Board application, payroll, and some other compliance issues. So it is a busy month, and we're working through it. We're looking at our timelines and our promises, and we're committed to meet those as close as we can. And we're dealing with audit. That's nothing's changed there. We still have to get through the process and get ready for them, but they're scheduled to come down. So that's kind of my end game, is the fact I know they're coming. And the other issues are mainly CRA, and we all know what that does for making sure that you get things done. So we're working through it, and it is a busy month, and I'm very pleased with the work that the girls are doing and the help I'm getting to try to get through that process. The rest of the report is there, and the check register is there. If there's any questions, I will entertain them.
Thank you, Frank. No questions, but I might as well give you some good news tonight, too. Thank you, because you're the one who makes the wheels all go around. It takes some money to do all the things that we just thanked for tonight, so thank you. All right. Now, we don't have, Alex isn't here tonight. So we got the Southwest New Brunswick Service Commission Planning Report, as you see in your package. And I don't know if you have any questions, but if you do, I would either steer them towards Alex next time he's here or reach out to him beforehand. So I'll just leave that go. And we already did the Future Saints even. Okay. Let's see. Okay, next up, review of bylaw number 01-26, establishing a code of conduct for members of council. You certainly can. Go ahead, Jim.
So you've seen this before. I just wanted to bring it back. We did get a submission from some citizens that have taken some time to read it and go through it in some detail, actually. Some suggestions that I would agree with, some that I wouldn't, but those are being reviewed right now. And so when we bring this bylaw back for its second reading at your next meeting, the changes that I think there will be some changes in there that we'll identify them for you, what changes have happened, and the rationale behind those. But wanted to bring it to this committee just in case any of you had heard anything else from other citizens or that might be out there that we could also put into that final review before second reading. If you have, I mean, you can tell us now, you can send me an email, whatever you like. Just to show you that it's still in the process, it's still being, it's still a live document, so it's nothing set in stone yet as we continue down our readings. But yeah, so happy to discuss here tonight, or feel free to email me with any comments as that you may either have yourselves or have heard from the public.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Councilor Harding.
Thank you. On page 3, where it speaks of respect and what respect means, can we also put in there that we don't want to see any bullying or any intimidation or threats? I think that's a big thing. It is for me, anyway.
Yes, and that's not just here. It's in the schools, too. I've been dealing with that for a month. Councilor Rodas?
Yeah, the one thing I notice in this, and I mean, Your Worship, you and I just had a conversation about this earlier, that the thing that I've learned the most about being on a council is that we all have so many different opinions and different perspectives, and we don't always communicate them the same way. But at the end of the day, we all want what's best for our community. We just have different people we represent and sometimes a different path of getting there. So I would just encourage the public reviewing the code of conduct to remember that, like, as somebody who has been victim of complaints because somebody doesn't like my opinion or perspective, it's challenging because I have the right to my opinion just the way everybody around this table does. So I would just encourage the public to remember that. Like, this code of conduct bylaw is not something that should be used frivolously. It's something that really should be very intentional and serious. So I know that I'm sure some citizens are like teething through it, but I think citizens and council, we both have a responsibility to each other to act in a certain way. And I'm not running for re-election, but I'm hoping that the next council will have a little bit of better luck with this. I mean, it has to go both ways, and there has to be mutual respect just the same way around this table as it does with individuals in the room and outside.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay. All right, so we're looking forward to the second reading. And I'll take a mover and second to adjourn. Councilor Harding? Councilor Rodas. All right. And it's 7:20, is that 8?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, folks, and council.